Hello, welcome back to the Soil Health Assessment Series. My name is Brian Doherty, Ag Engineering Field Specialist with Iowa State University Extension and Outreach. And today we're going to talk about compaction. How do you evaluate your soil for compaction? How does that affect your soil health? So, checking for compaction is really pretty simple. One way you can do that is just with a shovel. So, not the greatest tool in the world, but it'll do if that's all you have. So you can just push the shovel into the ground, see what kind of resistance you're getting with the shovel. So out in a stand of cereal rye cover crop here, this was tilled last fall, so there was some tillage in here, but got some rooting action that should help break up action a little bit. So, you can just push your shovel in. I'm getting down there, I would guess maybe 8 inches, and I'm hitting the restrictive layer, and that's about where the bottom of the tillage was, so that kind of makes sense. So when you're assessing compaction, you have to be a little bit, mindful of what the conditions are in the field, but mainly how wet the soil is. So as the soil gets drier, that will make it harder to push, a shovel or probe, whatever you have into the soil. So I recommend when you're doing an assessment, just record whatever the field conditions are, whether it's wet or dry, what time of year it is. And again, I've got a soil health assessment scorecard I'm happy to send you free of charge. And that's got, a way to record all of that information on it. So, again, shovel's one way to do it. One of my favorite quotes is from Gary Zimmer. He's with Midwest BioAg, kind of a soil health guru, and he says, if you have to jump up and down on your shovel to get it in the ground, you're probably not there yet when it comes to soil health. So that's one way. Another method is to use a soil probe. So this is just a really inexpensive probe. You can buy these for $25 to $30. I've got this one marked out every 6 inches, so I know how deep I'm going. If you're handy with a welder, you can just make your own. If you want something a little bit more sophisticated, you can get probes like this that have a dial on them that actually, indicates your level of resistance as you're pushing it into the soil. If you want to go really sophisticated, you can get digital ones that will, give you a digital readout. And they'll lock in, the maximum resistance as you're pushing it in. But really, unless you're doing research, you probably don't need anything that fancy. So just push your probe in and kind of check for compacted layers. And again, I'm getting down about 8 inches here, and I'm definitely hitting some resistance. That's a good indication that we've got a plow pan here. But you want to take, you want to check several different locations as you're doing this. For example, if I go to a crack here, now I'm down about 16 inches pretty easily. So you don't want to check one area. You want to, pick an area in the field and take several readings and just see where the restricted layer is. So as far as scoring, when it comes to soil health, again, it's pretty subjective with compaction, but, the scorecard that I have, generally the closer to the surface your restrictive layer is, the lower of a score you would have on soil health. So 1 to 10 scale, for example, if you're up, you've got a restricted layer, 4 inches or less from the surface, that would definitely be, kind of a degraded condition. If you're down 8 inches or deeper and you can get that probe in very easily, and the ground feels kind of spongy, and you can see that it's infiltrating water well, you don't have a restricted, compacted layer preventing that, then that would definitely be a healthier soil, and you would score in the higher end. So I'm going to dig up some soil from a few different spots here. Another good way you can check for compaction is to look at your roots. So you can look for restricted layers where your roots go down and then kind of turn sideways, things like that. So we'll dig up some spots here and see what we can find. Okay, so got a few roots pulled up here. You can see on the right, got the cereal rye cover crop. So cereal rye tends to have a very fibrous root system. So if you shake the dirt off, these roots will spread out at the surface. It's hard to dig down deeper and get a good sense for what these roots are doing deeper in the profile. They tend to want to break off. But I'm down here probably 8 inches, getting down near where the plow pan is. The roots seem to be doing okay here. They're still heading downward. I didn't see any indications here with a lot of sideways roots. But again, with the fibrous root system, not the greatest crop to use as an indicator for this. So, went to the field next door here, pulled up some alfalfa. You got more of a taproot here, so that gives you a better idea. Again, this one broke off on me when I got down about a foot, but that taproot's heading straight down, which is what we want to see. So, good way to, just dig up some roots and use those as an indicator for what's going on deeper in the profile. Again, it's very dry out here today, so that's, making it a little bit more challenging to dig these up. But certainly encourage you to go out when you get some corn, putting roots down deeper, and check out your roots, see how things are looking. Again, you should have nice, straight roots heading deep in the profile. You don't want to see very shallow root systems that are going down and hitting a restricted layer and then turning sideways. So I'm going to wrap up this segment on compaction. Again, if you want a free copy of the Soil Health Assessment Scorecard, I'll have my contact information here at the end of the video. So feel free to send me an email or give me a call, and I'm happy to send you a copy of that. And thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.